It's called Voodoo Doll. Hello kids, my name is Robert Earl Longley, and I'm originally from South Louisiana. I grew up, went to school in New Orleans, and heard about guitars early on, and I was starstruck with this thing, this piece of wood. I had to have one for myself, and I saw that my grandfather had a guitar up in his attic in South Louisiana. It was pretty rotten, you know, sitting up there for years, nobody played it. It was a jazz guitar, an arch-top guitar, I have no idea, I just remember it. It was sitting up there and I would pull down, it was one of those attics you pull down and the stairs come down, and it went right at the top. As soon as you go out and see that guitar, it was calling my name. And ever since then, I must have been 6 years old, 7 years old. And I just had to have a guitar. But I didn't really get one for Christmas until I was 11. And I begged my parents to get me it was a cheap little, I don't know, Sears Silvertone or something, you know. It was impossible to press down the strings. I had some friends that strummed on the guitar at the churches, and I wanted to learn how they played it, you know, how they did these chords and how they strummed, and we just learned together. Then I heard about Jimi Hendrix, and that was off the hook for me. I said, well, now I got to have an electric guitar. So, and I want a white one like he has, you know, and I want it to be the same shape. I didn't know what a Stratocaster was. I didn't know what a Fender was. I didn't know any of that. So I convinced my father to take me to a store called Woolco and got an electric guitar that sort of looked like the Jimi Hendrix guitar shape, which was a Stratocaster. I remember it cost $24. It was a lot of money to me. You know, I had to cut a lot of grass to come up with that money. But I got it, and it was a little bit easier to play than the first guitar. So one thing led to another, and here I am. This is a Lester DeVoe flamenco guitar. He's an American luthier, and I absolutely love everything he does. He's in Napomo, California, if you're looking him up, and he makes this wonderful classical flamenco guitar. This is a cypress back and sides, German spruce, and all I have to do is smell it. Oh my God, it's like the earth, and it just wants to be played. And this is my fourth one of his guitars. I hope he's doing okay, and I'll play another for you. This is called Coco Robicheaux. I never really studied music. I never learned, I never took lessons as such. You know, I just learned on the street and applied what I could use and whatever I found useful, and just would discard the rest, you know. And I would just learn, I learned how to play a bar chord. I remember just looking at a magazine, and I saw a guitarist in a magazine holding the guitar up like this, and he had his fingers in a standard bar chord, and I just copied it, and I went, that's hard, you know. And I just kept trying, and I get a note out, I get two notes out, and finally I was able to ink out one chord, you know. And it's just a long process of elimination, you know. But I listened to all my favorites, and we didn't have internet, we didn't have any of that, so you're just pretty much listening to records and trying to copy whatever you could, you know, and learn from other people. And there was other people down the block that I would learn things from, but I never learned any proper music theory or anything like that. It's just I was never interested in it, to tell you the truth. So if you learn how to do it properly, I would highly push people. I would advise getting proper lessons. Don't do what I don't do it like this. This is a long way. So technique-wise, I'm borrowing quite a lot from flamenco and classical tradition, with the right hand particularly, and the nails, getting done up, and I watched a lot of flamenco guitar players do rascado and alzapua and picado and tremolo, the 5-note and the 4-note classical tremolo, all the different techniques, and I just watched and learned and tried to pick things out, and I asked questions, but actual sit down and how do you do the how do you do these rascados, you just figure it out. It's kind of embarrassing. You hang around enough musicians, and over time there are people who are way better than you, a lot better than you, and they will correct you. These pieces are original, so for what it's worth, and that's how I kind of do it. I've lived in Bisbee for 10 years, so 9 years I've been doing it, and it's a lot of fun. The people are the runners are they're so nice, and they wave and they go, "Thanks, man, thanks for the music," and you're banging away on the guitar trying to make it as loud as possible, and so that it's just the camaraderie factor. You get that small town vibe, and it's really good. People appreciate it, and I like doing it. By the way, these pieces are original, so for what it's worth, and that's how I kind of do it. I can be seen at in the convention center on Saturdays at 6:30, playing at inside the convention center every Saturday, and that's right in front of the Table Restaurant there in Bisbee, where I live now. And I have a house there, and I have a recording studio, and I do a lot of work in the studio setting. Not this guitar, but various instruments that I play. And I record other people and try to produce and engineer other local artists there on occasion. Not anyone, but just certain individuals that I like what they're doing, and I try to help them with orchestration and all the things that I should have studied in school, but kind of learned on the job, So there's that. But that keeps me very busy, just being in the studio. So other than private events, whether it's a winery or a party, regularly, that would be pretty much it. And the rest of the week I'm in the studio. If I could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, I know who I would like to meet. I don't think they'd probably want to collaborate with me, but definitely would love to have met Paco de la Cia, Vicente Amigo, who's still alive. Paco's passed away. Just to be in their presence and to be able to absorb any kind of music that they write in a room with them would be incredible. I did meet Chet Atkins. I met Carlos Montoya back when I was a really young kid. That was exciting for me. I would have loved to have met Jimi Hendrix. Boy, there's enough people right here in southern Arizona I'd love to collaborate with. Not necessarily famous people, but just good musical, geniuses in their own right. I love working with other musicians. Absolutely love it. Bourbon St Burlesque.